Pieces.
You're deucing it, but it's okay.
I am deucing it.
Yeah. Peace.
Oh, what's the difference?
Peace is this way and deuce is this way.
Oh, really? Always?
That's how I do it.
Okay.
I thought that's how we
In
both
fact, I
did
do my
it.
deuces like this sometimes.
Oh. We gotta do it again. We gotta do it again.
And we're back. So welcome back to Pieces and Deuces. I'm your boy TMC, and it's my babe JMC.
Hey.
All right, so we've been at this. So next up, we have Spiral,
Spiral, the Book of Saw.
the Book of Saw. So give us a little breakdown about this movie, real quick.
This one I love. This
Okay,
one
so you're already going into what you thought about if you like the movie or not.
Just give it a second. This one I love to talk about.
Okay.
Okay. So Spiral is the sixth in the Saw series.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, unlike the other ones, plays out where there's some detectives that are being targeted. And this one's really about a copycat that is, I guess, trying to teach cops lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yeah, that's what it's about. It's what can I say? It's a Saw movie.
It has Chris Rock. It stars Chris Rock.
Sorry, yes, absolutely. Thank you.
And I believe it's executive executive
yes,
produced by Chris Rock.
And Samuel L. Jackson is in it. It is executive produced by Chris Rock.
Okay, so what did you like about the movie?
I love that it's a Saw movie.
Okay.
Saw movies have some of the best gore.
Mm-hmm.
And this one had really great gore. None of them have disappointed me so far. This one brought some new contraptions to it.
Okay.
You know, some of the contraptions I liked, some of them I disliked, and we'll get into that later. I liked the story because what I like about Saw movies is that it gives you a story and you don't know. There's so many twists in between that.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really sure where they're going to be, and when they are, you're very surprised. So it did still give me that element of surprise, which I really liked. And like I said, the gore did not disappoint at all. The gruesomeness of horror and the new ways. I know this is going to sound so crazy. The new ways of these torture killings, was fascinating. So not that fascinating. Not to lock me up, but loved it. Loved Saw.
Well, I like Chris Rock.
Yes.
I think Chris Rock was the best thing about the movie. I like the fact that it was a different spin on Saw. It wasn't just hey, more people thrown in a room, and then they're killed. It was an actual story to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that made it cool. So if you ever wondered, hey, what would Saw be like if it actually had a story to it? Well, here you go. In fact, I would say it was kind of like the movie Seven, but with a Saw spin on it, with all the Saw feel and the Saw aesthetics.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think Chris Rock was great. I think he brought his humor to this movie.
Great job.
And
absolutely.
I would love to see see him do either this again or something similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was did you dislike anything about it?
Before I get into my dislike, I just want to make one point on what you said. I think Chris Rock did do a great job, and I like the fact that Samuel L. Jackson in this movie did not overshadow Chris Rock.
No.
At first you had mentioned you're like when Samuel L. Jackson first came into shot, you said, "Oh, I didn't actually think he was going to be in the movie."
Mm-hmm.
And they had him in the movie in what 3 scenes, quick scenes until the end, really. Which was perfect because it did not overshadow. Samuel L. Jackson can sometimes be a little big, what I mean? And it did not overshadow everything else that was going on, including the performance by Chris Rock. I mean, he's always funny, and this had great elements of funny, and at the right time, the right amount, very subtle, sometimes very quick, but it wasn't a knee slapper, Chris Rock just made a great joke, No, he
It
was
wasn't a comedy.
no, not at all. He did a great job in a series. I love when really funny comedians take a serious role. It really, for some reason, you look at him in a whole different light. You know,
Okay.
I think he did a great job. What I didn't like about this one, I didn't like the doll, the new doll.
Okay.
And I know not everybody can be Jigsaw. You
Mhm.
know, um, I I think that's probably it. There's not a. I just liked so much about Saw that there wasn't a lot that disappoints me. If they want to go into something new, I can go with that. I think.
Well, for me, see, it's obvious with me. I am more into the technical aspects of things, so of movies and stuff like that, and sometimes to my detriment. But I thought that as it went on, it started becoming. By the time the reveal became, by the time it was revealed, I felt, oh man, now we went kind of WB ish,
Right.
CW ish a little bit. You know what I mean? Because then we have 10 minutes or 15 minutes of nothing but exposition.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like this is a Saw movie. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to sit here and listen to you guys have this conversation. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it felt like it was forced to end like your typical Saw movie, but still, you know what I mean, and which made it kind of go into a little cheese at the end.
Yeah.
As far as Samuel L. Jackson goes, one, I liked him in it, but I also disliked him in it. I liked him in it because I thought he and Chris Rock when they interact, you know, and they bring their Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson
Mm-hmm.
to a movie
Right.
that is gold. But I also felt like anybody could have played Samuel L. Jackson's part.
Right.
They just wouldn't have had the Samuel L. Jackson part to it. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So sometimes the Samuel L. Jackson of it all was unnecessary.
Right.
You know,
I can get that.
hello, you want to play? Oh yeah, motherfucker, you want to play? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? We can play, motherfucker. You know, like I felt like that wasn't necessary. Like it could have been anybody else who would have been like, yeah, we can play. You know what I'm saying? But like it felt like everybody was trying to be a little too like the one guy that was always intense when he would interact. The one cop when he would interact with Chris Rock, he was just
Yeah.
like he was like being super intense and stuff, and it was just
They had some really strange shots in
yeah,
this
it was a
one.
lot of things that just felt unsaid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because of that, there was a little bit of pacing that threw me off. So and then like I said, the ending was a little
Well,
but
you know, with the saws, in the endings of saws, usually, normally, there is one person that gets away that will carry this on.
absolutely,
You know.
and I get that. But the thing is and going back into it was with what you were talking about with the pig. The and the villain the guy, you know, he's no match for Jigsaw. You know what I'm saying? Or the person who was Jigsaw. You know what I
Right.
mean? So if you're used to the person who was Jigsaw and when he's revealed and when he talks,
Yeah.
you're like, whoa! You can see it in his eyes. Like you're afraid of that dude.
Right.
I don't know why Chris Rock just didn't beat this guy's ass. You know, from the jump. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
Like
know. I don't get that either. I mean,
I had no fear in my eyes from this guy. So,
yeah.
and it's not like they ever showed us Jigsaw as a young man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or did they in any of the movies?
Not as like a kid or like a teenager.
Yeah, exactly.
See the gosh, what's his name that plays Jigsaw? Always to me, always looked like an older man. Even
Exactly.
in the flashbacks of when he was married and they were trying to have a
Exactly.
child
They
and
always
stuff
showed
like
him
that.
after a certain age. They never
Yes.
showed him as like in college.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
so this guy's, you know, Pixar in college and it's like, you know,
Pixar.
I know Pixar. And it's like, you know, I just didn't believe
Yeah.
this dude. You know what I'm saying? So it was like there was no reason for me to believe that he could bring all this on. So
Right.
so that was kind of a letdown.
Right.
But so with that said, would you give pieces or deuces?
Oh, I'm totally giving this pieces.
Mm.
Jigsaw has got to do. I mean, the Saw movies have got to do something really messed up for me to give it deuces. It's just one of those. Love it, love it,
Okay.
love the gore, tearing of the fingers, tearing off of the tongues. Bring it. I love it.
All right, for me, I'm going to go with definitely a pieces.
Even better.
Super super pieces. One, Chris Rock. I'm giving it pieces because Chris Rock. held this movie down.
That's it.
You take Chris Rock out of it, then it's just a run by the numbers movie. Just the same thing with Saw. I love the fact that the guy who played Jigsaw,
Uh huh.
he pulled the movie for me. His voice, you know what I mean? I felt like when I watched Saw, I felt like that guy who plays Jigsaw was doing it to them. And I would never want to be on that guy's shit list. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas with this one, I felt like, okay, Pixar, dude, if I knew you was coming for me, I would just show up at your house and
Yeah.
just take care of you. You know what I mean? I don't even feel like I don't even believe he's strong enough to, you know, to put the chloroform on everybody's face or whatever that was. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He had to again with the spiral movies. There's always somebody that
But
helps them out. You know.
but either way, and once again, those are things that were left unsaid. But either way, Chris Rock pulled it for me. So total uh pieces.
I like the spiral sign too. I want a T-shirt like that.
So next up we have, and last up we have
The last on our list,
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
All right, so if you could just give a quick breakdown of what
It's a
Suicide
comic
Squad.
book movie. This is the second one,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Okay. So, it's a comic book movie. Harley Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
And they take out. They have a bunch of other fugitives that have been locked up. Give them a deal, set some chips in their head, send them out on a mission,
Okay.
type of thing. Um,
What'd you
I
like?
huh?
What'd you like about it?
I watched the Suicide Squad because I'm a big Harley Quinn fan.
Okay.
I think she's cute. I think she's funny, and I think she's badass. As far as comic book characters go. I think that if it wasn't for you, I mean, I would watch it just because I like Harley Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
But you're bigger on comic book stuff than I am, so you can appreciate a lot of the other comic book characters that they do have in this movie. I love King Shark. He's one of my favorites in this. So in this one, they had Polka Dot Man, and
I think that was his name.
I can't remember the guy with the javelin. And then they had John Cena playing as Peacemaker.
Yeah.
And they had a few other ones. So it's
Okay. All right. So as far as
my
I go,
kind of movie.
as far as I go,
Yeah.
that's my
What
thing.
did you like
That's
about
my
it?
thing. As far as I go, I like the movie. I like I like the action. I like the gore. Give me that in any. I think things can be gory and not be dark and still be happy and fun. I think things. I like it when my action movies are dark. I like when my action movies are fun, but I just like them when they're destructive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I like that. It was good to get a movie that I felt like was for an adult.
Yes. It did feel
Uh,
that way. You're
I
right.
like Harley Quinn, obviously as a character and as the actress that plays her. Um, John Cena was cool. You know what I mean?
How did you think he did in it?
I thought he was cool. I thought he was good. You can get a little bit of John Cena overload these
Yes.
days,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
ultimately, you know what I'm
It's true.
saying? He's given a role, and I think he played the role to a T. And I wouldn't mind seeing him take that character a little further.
Okay.
So as far as that goes, it was I like what I saw.
You did.
What they said, hey, what they put up on the screen, everything was pretty. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, and things like
What
that.
did you think about some of the new characters they brought in? Like, what did you think of Polka Dot Man?
Well, these some of these people are actually in this thing, and that's what the
Right.
Suicide Squad is. It's usually about the bunch that don't get
I
much
don't.
shine. You know what I
Like
mean?
the rat
Eh,
girl and
yeah,
the weasel thing.
yeah. All these people don't really get. They don't have their own book and things like that.
Yeah.
So
And
I
they had to
understood that.
battle. What was his name? Stardo or
Yeah,
yeah.
Starro. Yeah. So things like that. Plot wise, comic book wise, it was a comic book movie. Um, and if you like comic book movies, it was fun. What did you dislike about it?
Um, Nothing. I thought it was a great comic book
Mm.
movie. I'm a fan of comic book movies. To me, it's a fantasy world. It's extremely entertaining.
Okay.
I don't follow comic books like some people do, where they've read the comic book, so they know the in depth things about it. I'm kind of just along for the ride as far as comic book movies go, and I love the action of all of them,
Mm.
and I like the comedy that they insert in it. And sure, some of it can be cheesy, but it's comic book. A
Yeah.
movie could be whatever it wants to be. So there's nothing for me to hate about this movie.
For me, I felt that it went long, and I felt that as it went on and on and on, just like movies like Army of the Dead, you know what I mean? As the further it goes on,
Mm-hmm.
the less entertaining it is. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay.
Maybe that's just it. Maybe I'm at a place where movies, 2 hour long movies, 3 hour long movies are kind of like a thing
Limit,
now,
yeah,
limited now, because I just feel like as they go on, at least with a TV show, you have an intermission to
absolutely.
it, so to speak. I just feel like as it go on, you're going to see one spin around, shoot 50
Yeah,
people
for
so many
three
times.
hours.
I felt like since you asked me about the characters before, bringing them back up, sure, I understand a lot of them, but as an adult watching some things could be a little too cheesy and slapstick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So with that, would you give it a pieces or a deuces?
I would give it definitely a pieces. I liked it. I liked Suicide Squad, and I think it left the door open for maybe another one.
While I like, for me, this is once again I'm gonna break again. While I like the movie The Suicide Squad versus Suicide Squad, I don't feel like, and I felt like they just wanted to redo a movie because they did the first one. It's like, hey, we got to redo this again.
Oh,
Even
okay.
though everything seemed like it probably was going, and because we got to do this again, we got to do it crazy and we got to do it big.
Bigger and yeah.
But I don't feel like you're missing out on an experience if you miss out on this movie.
Okay.
So for me, if you've seen it 1,000 times. If you're a movie buff that just love to see movies, you
Yeah.
gotta see movies, or you gotta see comic book movies, you wanted to see these characters on the big screen, then by all means, check it out for yourself because you need that anyway. But if you're just someone who wants to pick up a movie and spend some time, watching something, I think the others that we have given pieces to could take up your time. It's something that you probably would enjoy with someone else.
Okay.
I could see this being the movie that you're the only person in the room sitting on the couch liking, or
Enjoying
you're the
it.
one that's not liking it. Everybody else likes it, but you don't. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
For some reason. So I think if you've so I'm gonna give it a deuce. I'm gonna say
Oh,
you'll be okay if you didn't see this
really?
movie.
Wow.
You'll
Okay.
be all right. I'm gonna deuce it
That's
out.
interesting.
I'm going out on a limb with this.
So that was our last one, and
Okay.
let's see.
So what's the rundown? What's the
So the
score?
rundown. So our conclusion on Pieces and Deuces for
Mm-hmm.
today's show is: so The Conjuring, we got pieces for JMC and pieces from TMC.
Okay.
And In the Heights, we got deuces for JMC and deuces for TMC.
So In the Heights didn't do too well.
No, In the Heights was a sleeper. Literally put me to sleep. Ice Road, we both gave it pieces. Good movie. Good movie. Way to go, Liam Neeson in your age. Fear Street,
Mm-hmm.
we were kind of split on that one.
Oh man.
JMC gave it some pieces for 2/3 being good. TMC gave it deuces.
Threw up the deuces on it.
That's right. Um, Space Jam was up next after that. We both gave it deuces. I think those deuces were well deserved.
Sorry.
uh, so after that, we had Spiral. We
Mm-hmm.
both gave it pieces. I
Pieces.
think
Pieces.
Spiral is awesome. Wait till you again. And that concludes our review of some of the movies.
Oh, Suicide Squad.
Oh my gosh, stuff Suicide Squad.
And with Suicide Squad.
And with Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a pieces because I love comic book movies no matter how cheesy they are.
Mm-hmm.
You gave it a deuces.
Deuces up for Suicide
And
Squad.
he knows more than I do about comic book movies. So.
And so with
Solid.
that is our pieces and deuces, everybody. So thank you for joining us. And next week we'll be back with more JMC selections.
Yay!
Peace out.
Peace. Deuce. Peace. We gotta do it again. We gotta do it again. Hey guys, it's JMC here from TMC for JMC Show. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe,
And
down
subscribe.
below.
If not, we gonna kill you. Nah.
We are not gonna.
Love my baby.
Pieces.
Pieces.
You're deucing it, but it's okay.
I am deucing it?
Yeah.
Oh, what's the difference?
Pieces this way and deuces this way.
Oh, really? Always?
That's how I do it.
Okay.
I thought that's how we
In fact, I
both
do
did
my
it.
deuces like this sometimes.
Oh.
You know, I could never do, you know. Yeah, most people, I never really seen people, I mean, we got off of it, so we're gonna have to do this one again, but I never really, I mean, I guess you could do like this when you're getting your deuces out, like especially when you're walking away. But sometimes I would see people do a peace sign like that too.
Yeah.
When they, you know, I don't do deuces in pictures. I do peace signs in
Yeah.
pictures. So,
I know.
all right. So.